What's up guys, Mike here from TopShelf Media. So today, I'm super excited. I'm actually on my way to go take my drone pilot's test. I decided I really wanted to start using the drone to make money, to do more shoots, and I wanted to do it legitimately. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and go take the drone pilot's test. So I'm on my way there now. I'm on my way to the Marion Airport here in Iowa. And I just kind of wanted to let you guys know kind of what I did to get to this point of going and taking the test. So first off, what I did is I took an online course. It's called Drone Pilots Ground School, and I loved it. It was a great course. There's a lot of videos on there, and it takes a while. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably get it done in a week, maybe even a couple days, but that's a long grind. And there's a lot of information they throw at you, so I would not advise that. I actually took a couple months to get through the course just because, I was doing it for my job as well, so I could only do it when I had time. And so I would advise you to take, at least a couple weeks to take the course. Like I said, it's a lot of information that they throw at you. And so I thought it was a great course. It was an awesome course. They do a fantastic job there. And at the end of the course, what they do is they have these different test attempts. So you can go in, I think they had 5 different attempts, and I took all 5, and it's different questions each time. Obviously you're going to have some overlap with a few questions, but they throw different sets of questions in there for each attempt. And when I took the test, I was ranging from anywhere from 72% to 82%, and you need 70% to pass the class. So right now I'm feeling fairly confident that I'm going to be able to pull this one off, that I'm going to be able to pass this test. Like I said though, I was getting 82%, so that's kind of close to the line. So we will see here how well it goes. Like I said, I only want to take this once. It's $150 to take this test, so I do not want to have to take this test again. But yeah, so that's basically what I did to get to this point. I just took that course, and like I said, Drone Pilots Ground School, they're great. You should definitely check them out if you're interested in taking this course or taking the test. But yeah, definitely check them out. But like I said, I'm on my way to the Marion Airport, so I will check in with you guys after the test, I guess. Later. All right, guys, so I just left the Marion Airport, and I'm super pumped. I passed the test. I got a 92%. So I'll take that. I think I missed like 5 questions, which is fantastic. I'm excited. Going from the practice test of getting 72 to 82 to actually get 92%. I'm super pumped. So what they did is they gave me first off, the test was 60 questions. So there was that, and I did it all on a computer. And they gave me, the booklet with all the charts and stuff like that, and they also gave me scratch paper and all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. So after I passed the test, I went out and they gave me 2 pieces of paper. One of them they stamped the do not lose. It has like the site ID, it has the exam ID, it has a bunch of other stuff on it that I'm going to need to do the next step. And what the second piece of paper is the instructions for the next step. So what they did is they gave me that piece of paper, and it has a website. And I have to wait 24 to 48 hours before I can go on there and get my information off of there and actually apply for the actual license. So I do have to go on, I have to fill out an application to get an actual license to fly the drone. So as of right now, the piece of paper that they stamped, I carry that around with me. They said to fly the drone as of now, and then it takes 120 days to get my actual license in once I apply for it and it's approved. So my plan is to kind of show you guys the next few steps, or at least talk about the next few steps after I do them. And then I will, that way you guys kind of know what I had to go through to get the license, and hopefully, you guys are able to do it, fairly easy as well. I'm hoping this is easy, but it is, I do have to deal with the FAA. It is a government entity, so who knows how easy this is going to be. Alright, you guys, so I'm to the point where I have received my temporary certificates. Now I'm going to give you guys kind of a rundown of what I did to get to this point. First off, I went to the FAA website that I talked about before. Now all you got to do when you get there is register. So you go up to the upper right hand corner there, you hit register, and then it'll give you to this page. this page here. All you have to do on this page is select applicant and then go down to the bottom and click the agree to terms of service and continue. So once you're done with that, it'll give you to this page here, and this is where you fill out all your personal information from your name to security questions to get into your account. Now you can skip the certificate number because you don't have a certificate yet, so you can skip that part, but you want to fill out all the rest of the information. All this does is allows you to access your account on the FAA website so you can start this application. But once you're done registering your account, then you can finally log in and start the application process. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to go to the left hand side there and say start new application. Then you're going to get this screen here where you're just going to go down and select pilot, select remote pilot, and then you should be able to click start application. Now what you gotta do is just fill all this stuff out. So you're gonna start with your personal information here at the top and then down to your residential address, which I'll get to in a minute. I had an issue with that and I'll explain that. And you just gotta work your way down. Eventually you'll get to the section basis of issuance. And that's just basically saying, why do you think you deserve this license? At that point, you're going to want to click on completion of knowledge test. And then what I did is I could use that piece of paper that they gave me that stamped do not lose to fill out the information in this section. There's just a couple more things to do down there, and then you can hit the review and submit. You can save it and you'll be good to go at that point. But like I said, I wanted to circle back to the residential address because this is where I had some issue. The issue was the FAA website was seeing my address as a business address, and so it would not allow me to put it in as my residential address. I do live in an apartment complex, so that might be part of it, but I called the Marion Airport, who they said that if I have any issues registering that I can give them a call and they should be able to answer for me. So I called them first, and they said that they'd never heard of that ever being an issue. So we talked through it a little bit. We weren't able to figure it out. And then, so that's when I decided to call the U.S. Department of Transportation, because I found on the bottom of the website has the U.S. Department of Transportation seal, has a number to call. So I got on their website and found a number for like remote pilots to call. And so I called that number, and it was really interesting. This is where the biggest issue came up that I had, aside from not being able to fill out the application because it's not allowing me to put in my address. The biggest issue I had was the fact that when I called this number, the first time I called it, I got a recording and it said some business name that I was like, I don't understand. So I hung up. I was like, oh, maybe I dialed wrong. Put it in again, called it again. It was the same number, but I got a different, I got an actual person who answered this time right away. Like it's a little bit of elevator music and then a person answering. And so this person asked, how can I help you? I told him what my issue was. And he said, okay, what's your name? Gave him my name, what's your birthday, what's your address? And I gave him those things, and he said, okay, now I need a credit card number. I said, what? He goes, I need a credit card. Do you have a Visa, MasterCard, anything like that? I said, yes, but no, not gonna happen. And I hung up the phone. So what happened is I ended up emailing the FAA and letting them know. I copied a link to the site that I was on and let them know that I called that number and someone was using it for fraudulent purposes. And I got an email back about 10 minutes later from a guy, and he said yes, he called the number a handful of times just to test it out. He said he got the same thing to happen that I did, and that people have been notified, DOT has been notified that there's a number on their website that's being used for fraudulent purposes. And yeah, so I mean, I was able to avoid that. Luckily, I didn't give him my credit card number because who knows what would have happened then. I did end up getting my address stuff figured out. I did end up calling. I called the FAA. I called a different number for the FAA, and they told me to submit with paper, give them attached to it a map that shows that yes, this address is an actual residential address. And then, like I said, I think a week later, I received my temporary certificate. I printed it out. It looks like this, and yeah. That's where I'm at. So like I said, it takes 120 days to get the actual license. As far as I know, it's in the works, it's on its way, but I have not gotten any notification or anything other than the temporary certificate. So I'm assuming it's on its way. Hopefully this was informative. I don't want in any way, I don't want this to be, this was a terrible experience. Don't get your drone license. That's not what this is about. This was about kind of telling you what I went through to get to the point of having my drone license, what I went through from deciding I wanted to do it to doing the drone pilot ground school to actually registering and getting my license. Like I said, I have not received it yet. It takes 120 days, but hopefully that'll be coming, you know, in the next couple months. So we'll see. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Even consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you want to see my previous video, click that link right there. If you want to see my most recent video, click that link. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.